Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Let's talk boxing. And today I want to focus on a couple of things, but the first news story I want to talk about is Agit Kabayel. Now, Agit Kabayel returns to Germany for what will be a big headline show in his home country. And the reason why it's significant for boxing as a whole because, boxing returns to Germany. Germany has had, the likes of Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, sort of dominating the era in the past, 10, 20 years. You've had, Vladimir Klitschko fighting Tyson Fury, and, that piqued the sort of interest in the country. Now, since Vladimir Klitschko retired, there hasn't been a lot of activity in Germany. And like broadcasters in particular haven't really sort of felt the need or felt the urge to sort of dip their toes back in. I was reading some of the sort of agreements that have sort of taken place. Was from broadcasters like RDL, who is Germany's biggest private sort of free to air broadcaster. They signed a deal with the Klitschko brothers in the 2010s. Sort of at the back end of their career. I think it was a 5-fight deal, €15 million deal. So sort of each brother would get €3 million from that fight. Now since then there hasn't really been any sort of big time boxers from Germany, and that is until Agit Kabayel. Now Kabayel in his last 3 fights, I've got it up here. He's fought the likes of Arsenbek Makhmudov, of course, coming off a big victory against Dave Allen. That puts him in contention for a big fight. You've got Frank Sanchez, who's linked with fighting Daniel Dubois, and the big Chinese fighter Zhilei Zhang. These are all potential banana skin opponents for anybody. I mean, you look what Makhmudov did to Dave Allen. You look what Zhilei Zhang did to Deontay Wilder. These are big live heavyweights, and Agit Kabayel has got through all of them. And just a little bit about his size. He's not the biggest heavyweight, but he packs a lot of power and he's very skillful in the way that he operates. And he's gone to the body quite a few times. I think Zhilei Zhang, going to the body was Kabayel's sort of secret weapon as such, and it paid dividends. I mean, Zhang got knocked out by said body shot, right? So he possesses a lot of power, and from what it seems that Frank Warren is trying to build Kabayel into a household German name. I mean, I was reading, I think for some of Klitschko's fights, 50,000 people turned out to see him fight. And if he can build a star like Kabayel into a Klitschko-esque fighter, there's a lot of money on the table for Frank Warren, for Agit Kabayel, for DAZN, for all the major stakeholders in place. So it could be a lucrative market for Frank and for Kabayel. With that being said, Kabayel needs to do the business on Saturday night, right? If he doesn't, I mean, this is we're all talking hypothetical, and just a little bit about his opponent. Got his box reg up here: 17-0, 11 knockouts. Damien Kanaiba, I think he fights out of Poland. His last sort of fight was against the sort of the journeyman, Joey DeWeco. Why does it say suspended? Apparently, his last opponent is suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission. Wow. But anyway, I mean, this fighter is an undefeated fighter, and he's fought a lot of journeymen, so I don't think he's been in with anyone that. Yeah, he's not really been in with anyone that is in the public eye, but he's undefeated, 11 knockouts, 17-0. So he packs some power, and he's a threat. So it's up to Kabayel to sort of he's expected to win, and it's up to him to sort of get that victory. But if he does get that victory and he looks impressive and he brings out a lot of people, this is at the Weber Arena. Let's just see how much it holds. Rudolf Weber Arena. capacity. Here we go. Okay, so it holds 13,000, 12 to 13,000, depending on obviously how many seats they open. I mean, if you can pack that out, you know, it could be the start of something. That's an interesting fight, and I think also on the undercard as well, you got David Adelaide. David Adelaide, of course, was meant to fight. There were rumors of him fighting in Nigeria on the card, sort of previously, but you know that didn't materialize for whatever reason. He's of course coming off a big sort of fight against Filip Hrgović, in which he wasn't victorious, he didn't get the victory. I think that fight went to points, but Hrgović, you know, inflicted a lot of power. I think Adelaide had him hurt in the 8th round, but you know, Hrgović was able to come through that. So, I mean, it's an opportunity for both Adelaide and Hrgović to almost, opportunity for Hrgović and, no, for Adelaide and for Agit Kabayel to sort of, you know, lace up the gloves again and to start the year on a high. 10th of January, 10th of January they'll fight, so opportunity for them to start the year strong and to keep going. But that'll be an interesting fight to kick off the year. And then also on the same sort of night, you got Subriel Matias taking on Dalton Smith. There's been a lot of sort of controversy behind that fight, considering, you know, Subriel Matias has been accused of taking Ostarine. Ostarine is the performance-enhancing drug that is responsible for weight loss. I think it's responsible for recovery as well. And apparently it's quite rife in boxing. Amir Khan took Ostarine alleged to have taken Ostarine against his fight against Kell Brook. You know, and he got a 2-year ban from that, but that didn't really matter because he retired after that. I think Ryan Garcia was accused of taking the drug as well when he fought Devin Haney, and he had to sort of let go of his purse, and I think he had a 1-year ban. So the drug is quite rife. Now the reason why this fight is going ahead is because it's the amount of Ostarine found in Subriel Matias' system is less than what the New York State Athletic Commission deem sort of acceptable. I think his was 0.085 nanograms per milliliter, and the sort of limit is 0.1, which means that, you know, he's scheduled to fight. It did say that his B sample came back showing that he'd taken Ostarine as well. So, I mean, it's a bit of a grey area there. But that fight still goes ahead on the 10th, on the same sort of night as Kabayel takes on his opponent. So a double header to kick off the year. And yeah, that'll be interesting to see who wins that. I mean, that fight is for the world title at that fight's for the world title. So if Dalton Smith come in at home, another British champion, you've got Nick Ball as well. So yeah, a very interesting sort of week as we head into the first meaningful. All fights are meaningful, but the first sort of headline fights of 2026. And just before I go, everyone, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share the channel. Thank you for watching.